So 10.
Yeah, we're starting.
And
now.
welcome to another fun Friday episode of Ripping the Rack podcast.
And we are recording.
We are the longest running Candlepin podcast show out there. However, this is Friday.
But,
Friday,
yeah,
we
that's
do
right.
not talk Candlepin.
Friday.
We talk anything other than Candlepin bowling. With me today, I'm going to start on my left. He is up on top of us. He is the king of the north.
Yes.
Gentlemen.
Calvin, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, it's another great day. I'm watching Montreal lose. It's great.
Go
The
Tampa.
North remembers.
The North remembers.
1-0.
The North remembers.
And let's see. On top for me today, he's not used to being on top. He's our resident masshole, Mr. Marky Pins.
What's happening, boys? No, I'm not used to being on top. Usually I'm on the bottom, like scrounging for air or something, like not knowing what the hell's going on. But, you know, every once in a while, it's better to be on top.
You
Every
are on
once in a
top.
while.
You are on top today.
Thank you.
And riding the bottom rail,
I'm the foundation.
he's the foundation.
He's
tonight.
the foundation. That was eloquent. I like
One
that.
coastal crusader, Mr. Brian. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, you know, it's Friday. Yeah.
It is. It is. It's Wednesday on a Friday on a Thursday.
That's right.
I wish
And the
it wasn't
Canadians
are
Friday.
losing. And the Canadians are losing. So it's a beautiful, beautiful evening right now.
Yes.
Whatever
Yeah.
day it is.
whatever day it is. So today, folks, we have a jam-packed agenda. My wife is doing laundry. Hi, honey. Say hi. She just flashed me. It made me excited.
It's a beautiful thing when that happens. My
It
wife
is.
does
It
it all
is.
the time when we're
She
doing the
didn't,
other
but I was
show.
hoping that subliminal thing right there might have made her do it, but
Tim,
Oh,
I
she
don't
did?
think I don't think that's what subliminal means.
it doesn't. But that's what I was used. And
don't think
she
that word
might
means
actually
what
be
you think it
flipping me
means.
off. She might actually be flipping me off at the moment.
What do you mean
Oh,
she
well,
might? You mean
yeah,
she
no, that's a
is?
that's
Well,
a
she's-
given.
She's
That's a guarantee.
She's no, wait, no, oh, and she's gone. So I do need to ask just one question before we get going with our top 10 greatest sports moment,
Moments.
whatever,
Sure.
whatever you want
Yeah,
to call it,
whatever.
top 10 sports moments, individualized, of course, to your own personal sports moments that you feel would be the top 10. What is the difference between kinky and perverted?
Oh,
Ah.
I know this one. I know this one.
Then
Kinky's
don't
when you
answer.
use- oh,
Then don't answer.
Hmm.
but I know it.
Maki, Calvin?
The difference between one can get you arrested and one can make you a father?
Kinky is when you tickle your girlfriend with a feather. Perverted is when you use the
Just when
whole
you
damn
use the whole
bird.
chick.
Still better than the necrophilia joke you told 2 weeks ago.
No, it was not. That was a good joke.
No.
Did you
No.
tell? Did you tell Melissa?
No, I don't dare tell her that one.
I thought you were going to.
I was going to, and then I supremely thought better of it.
That's a good call, bud. It's a good call.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Don't ever listen to what Matero does.
you.
So,
No.
I will tell you, my version of this list is obviously going to be different than Calvin's, which will be different than Marky's and Brian's and so forth. Brian and I might actually have a couple that might actually be the same. And I can't wait to see if this is on there.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have one very personalized one that's in my top 2. So
Is
I
that,
also. yeah.
me winning the worlds? That made your top?
No.
Really?
no.
Oh.
No.
Did your 4-7 pocket strike to win the world's make it on there?
It did.
Yeah, shocker.
Damn Skippy, it made it on my top 10 list.
Christ. Well, wait, that sounds good. That's something to bring up during the roast. Hang on, I gotta write that down.
Yeah, exactly.
I gotta write that down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Hey, who's the most popular guy at a nudist colony?
The guy with the biggest wiener.
The one who can carry a cup of coffee in each hand and a dozen donuts.
I mean, he's not wrong.
So essentially
not
the
wrong.
same thing. The biggest wiener.
Basically.
Oh.
Man,
Okay, so
listen,
what are we
if you
gonna?
could
What are we
carry a
talking
dozen
about?
donuts, you ain't getting any, because that nobody would like that.
They run from that. Like this
Yeah,
big, and
nobody
then they
would
just
like
run
that.
away. That's Godzilla!
I
Godzilla! And then they
I
run.
tell you what.
And this is
You
the
could-
last time we were the longest running Candle Prince podcast.
Okay, last one. Husband's talking
We're
to
gonna make it Tim's Friday joke corner.
Yeah,
There,
that's
we have a new segment.
Yes!
We'll have a segment.
husband's talking to his wife. He says, "I bet you can't tell me something that will make me happy and sad at the same time." Husband says to his wife. She thinks about it for a moment, and then responds, "Your penis is bigger than your brother's."
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm so happy I don't have a brother.
Yeah, me too.
That's not
Nah,
something you
same
want to
here.
hear.
Your
No.
penis is bigger than your sister's.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. That's fine.
Oh,
That's
Okay.
happy and insulting.
all right. So, top 10 sports moments. Who wants to go first?
I'll start this mess off.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
You
I'll
do
start
this.
this mess off.
Oh wait,
I'll be-
wait, Marky, we need to go through these quicker than our other top 10 lists we've done because we ain't got 3 hours.
No, significantly quicker. So I'm just gonna bring up some good talking points about a couple ones. I have a few very personal ones. Mine is
Mhm.
all New England based.
Sure.
Duh.
I
So
figured
yeah.
as much.
So we all have the individual.
And
So-
by the way, I will tell Mark. I apologize for interrupting my and this is it just came to my head, which is why I wanted to say it. These are all things that I have witnessed.
yes.
That's the way I looked at
Oh,
this.
Me too.
Except
Okay.
for this one.
I
Except
don't
for
really,
this one.
Calvin. I don't care if yours is different. These
Well-
are just ones that I've personally witnessed.
I guess there is one on there that I put on there that I'm like, I can't not have it, even though I didn't witness it, although I was old enough to witness it. But
No, that's okay.
Like I don't
No.
remember it. So yeah.
But, like,
That's perfectly fine.
My number 10, the reason why I have this one at number 10 was because I didn't witness it. It was 10 years before I was born.
Okay.
It was, but it's an iconic Boston sports moment, is when Bobby Orr scored the flying goal against the St. Louis Blues in 1970 to win the Stanley Cup. And my God, there is not more of an iconic moment than that. It would have been higher, but I just didn't witness it for myself. But there's a
Right.
statue of it down by the Boston Garden.
Yeah.
Out in the front, there's the flying horse. That it is just you go into any sports bar around, they
Yep.
have a picture of it up.
Mhm. Any Applebee's in New England, it's usually
Fact.
on a wall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's my number 10 too. Is a moment that it's like you can't. It's something happened and you just can't not have it on there.
It's so great of a moment cultural wise that it has to be on there, even though I was
Yeah.
negative 11.
Yeah.
What, Calvin? What's your number 10?
Well, no, we won't talk. Well, Marky's doing his top 10. We'll do that, and we'll do mine after.
No. We
no,
go
no.
all the 10s and then
Yeah, all the
nines.
10s.
Yeah, we
all
do
the
the
nines.
10s,
is
then
that what we're
9.
doing?
Yeah,
yeah. You guys are weird.
No, you're the Canadian. You're the different one. Like we
Right.
do it. This is an American style.
No,
top
you
10,
know,
so-
you know what he
All
thought?
right.
He didn't think we'd go one at a time. You know, like 2 blocks at a time. He thought we'd do the whole list, like we do the whole
Yeah.
half. You know,
Right.
it's
Oh,
just like-
right.
yeah.
We should have gone 2 boxes at a time because it's a top 10 list. We should have gone 2 boxes at a time. We should have done this Canadian stuff.
All right, let's go Canadian style.
That's fine,
Marky,
it's
what's your
fine.
number 9?
All right, so we're
Fine,
gonna go
fine,
2
it's
boxes
fine,
at a
fine,
time. All right,
Yeah,
sounds good.
It's fine. It's fine,
Two
you
boxes
big
at a time.
girls. It's fine, you girls. Okay.
No,
No, too late.
My number
Do that.
10.
Number 9,
The
Marky.
king-
What do you
the
got?
king has spoken. The king has spoken. Enough out of you.
Oh,
All right, never mind. The king pulled rank. Yes, you're
yeah,
right.
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. You're right. King of the North.
Go right ahead. It's really fucking cold. He's got to say
So-
something quick.
So anyway, Marky, are
He
you
muted him.
I'm coming up there. I swear. I'm coming
you mean
up
down
there.
there?
You mean
No,
down
I'm
there?
coming up. You guys are, I think, north of Moncton.
No.
But I'm
Well, the
pretty
top
sure,
of Maine is a little north of Moncton. Yeah,
right?
but
I'm
these guys
pretty
are.
sure.
The
oh,
top, but not what we are.
Yeah,
Okay.
no. We're 3
Oh,
hours south of that.
Either way, I don't think
6 hours.
anybody said to you we're coming up there. So I'm coming down to you, Tim.
All
I'll
right.
come down to your level. I'll get down on my knees and I'll give you a mouthful.
Oh,
Ah!
thank you. I feel better.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right, go ahead.
All
Go
right.
What's your
ahead.
10?
Go ahead,
No,
sir.
no.
Number 10.
Number 10 is the Joe Carter home run. The walk-off
Oh,
home
yep.
run in '93.
Yep.
Like
I was-
you'll not even just for the home run and the fact that he hit it, but the announcer just going off, Joe Carter, touch a ball. You'll never hit a bigger home run.
That's
yeah.
right. It was one of the best calls in history. It
Yeah.
really
And
was.
if I'm not mistaken, was that Joe Buck that actually made that call?
I believe so. I believe
It's
it
the
was.
one
really-
good thing he's ever done.
Which really pisses me off because I hate Joe Buck, but that was a great
We
call.
hate Joe Buck. I hate
Yeah.
Joe Buck.
But yeah, no, that Joe Carter home run, like that, you'll
Yeah.
never see a bigger home run. Nothing like
Yeah.
Game 7, World Series, walk off, like
At home. Oh,
at
no.
home.
That-
Oh,
Yeah.
The way
nothing
he
but-
ran the bases, he threw his helmet in the air. He's never been happier. Like
Yeah.
it was textbook baseball moment.
jumping from base to base.
Yeah.
He
Like
really did. Yeah,
he was
like
a
fairy
kid
leaping.
at that point. Yeah,
He really
Oh,
he was
was.
a kid
yeah.
at that point.
100%.
Brian, what do you got?
Love it. Good pick.
My number 10 is Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3.
Yes.
It's an iconic moment in pro wrestling. It brought pro wrestling into the culture. It was the rock and wrestling connection. Tim and Calvin already said that pro wrestling isn't a sport. They can go fuck
Yes,
themselves.
it is.
No, it is
Marky,
not.
Yes, it is.
No, it is sports
No.
entertainment. It is
Correct.
not.
It is a
it is-
sport.
Here's the thing. We all know, all four of us enjoy professional wrestling.
Yes.
A couple of you enjoy it more than me, but that's okay.
Fine.
We all enjoy it.
All of us enjoy it more than you.
Yes. Okay.
The three of us
we
enjoy
we
it. more
all
than-
enjoy it.
Yeah.
It is a predetermined result. That is not a sport.
The athleticism and
I didn't
what they
say
put
that.
themselves through that counteracts that point of saying it is not an athletic contest because you're damn straight it is an athletic contest.
I never said it wasn't an athletic
No,
contest.
but the other side of your argument is the fact of how athletic these guys are. It counteracts the point of whether or not the outcome is known or unknown. Because it's not like every single wrestling match you've ever watched, the outcome has been determined, and that's what happened.
We witnessed
That
one
happens.
in Colorado that the guy didn't know he won. He didn't know he was supposed to win.
Correct.
Okay.
That happens. And I'll give you 95% of the time that happens.
Mhm.
Yes. It takes zero away from the athleticism.
there's
Please
no
understand.
difference.
I am not taking away from the athleticism
Correct.
or anything of the nature of professional wrestling. The ladies and gentlemen of professional wrestling, I don't care if it's Andre the Giant at 7'5", 500 pounds, or if it's Marty Jannetty at 5'9", 190 pounds. They are all athletic. I do not consider professional wrestling a sport. I
Is
consider
synchronized swimming a sport?
Yes.
You do not have a predetermined
Wrestling
result.
is basically synchronized swimming with no water. You both have to be
Except
on the
that
same
you have
page.
a predetermined result.
Right. You don't. If Team Canada goes up against Team USA in synchronized swimming, they're not going behind the scenes and going, "Okay, Team Canada, you're gonna win the gold because Team America won it last year, so we're gonna give."
They do
Team
that. They do that in figure skating an awful lot. Seems like every friggin' Winter Olympics, there's.
I'm not a big fan of a sport, and I'll call it an Olympic
There
sport.
are more professional
uses
basketball
judges
games that have been
sport.
fixed and predetermined than that have been actually played in recent memory. I'm sorry to tell you.
Brian, I know it's your list. I don't have a problem with it. I just don't. My opinion, right, wrong, or indifferent. That's all.
Which is fine.
Mhm.
My number 10. I really, really struggled with this list because I can't, like, off the top of my head, I was like, oh yeah, there's this. And next thing I know, I've got like 20 things on here, and I'm like, well, how the fuck do I come up with 10 of these? I have a tie at number 10, and it's only because I have the Celtics when they won in 84 and 86, and the Bruins when they won in 2011. There are other more iconic sports moments for me, but those are pretty damn iconic for me. 84 was the first time I got to witness any of my teams win a championship. 86 had one of the greatest basketball teams of all time.
Agreed.
Still to this day, it's one of the greatest. Notice I didn't say it was the greatest. It is one of the greatest. You could argue it is the greatest, just like you could argue the 96 Bulls, just like you could argue what was it?
95, 94, 93,
Yeah.
98 Bulls.
Yeah, no,
He's not wrong.
You're not
No,
wrong.
there's one year in there that Jordan retired, so they weren't that good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
but you can argue, the what was it, 2018 Golden State Warriors or so whatever it was that
Yeah.
were pretty stupid. Like
No,
and
that 86
win.
Celtics team would have competed with any of the,
Yeah.
this was the greatest team of all time. If
Yeah.
you had like a 10-team
Oh, yeah.
tournament of that.
And the Bruins
Absolutely.
winning in 2011 because that was the first time I'd seen them win a championship. So yes, so that's my number 10. I'll take number 9, and we'll kind of go back.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, whoever finishes starts with the next number.
Yep,
That's good.
my number 9. I had the Patriots winning their first Super Bowl in 2001. Tom Brady driving at the end of the game when you've got John Madden and Pat Summerall going, he's going to take a knee here. You only got a minute and what was it? A minute.
Some of those
20
were
seconds.
predetermined.
Really? I'm sorry that
Get
your
'em!
Cowboys aren't good
Get
enough
'em!
to win anything.
Yeah.
I
I
the
thought
Pats
it was,
winning.
I thought it was because Janet Jackson's boobie got exposed. I thought that was why.
Yeah.
I was
That was a good one, too.
that was just a icing on top of the cake.
There was
I
like
still can't
15
believe-
dudes
I
sitting
still
in the
can't
room I
believe
was
that's,
in, and
like,
we were like,
not
did we
all
just see a
over the-
booby?
Yeah.
We were at my well-to-do buddy's house in high school. He had TiVo, so we paused that shit.
Remember
We
Tebow? Remember that
We
shit?
were
yeah.
on our way. We were on our way back from Florida. We were on a family trip, and we were driving back, listening to the game on satellite radio. We were listening to the game. It was fun.
Calvin, what do you got for number 9?
Number 9, I have Barry Bonds breaking the home run record. Only because I'm a Barry Bonds fan. So just
Hey, I'm a
I-
Bonds
I-
guy. I think he should
I'm
be
a
in the Hall
Bonds
of
guy.
Fame.
yeah,
Him and
To-
Clemens.
yeah.
To me, there is no greater hitter that I've personally seen than Barry Bonds.
No, and no more
Steroids
feared.
make you strong, but they can't make you see the ball to hit it like
Right.
that.
No more feared. There's a video on YouTube that Barry Bonds, he has the best OPS or OBS or whatever on base percentage in history. And that same year, if he didn't swing the bat, if he didn't even have a bat in his hand, he is still the second best OBS in history.
Really?
So
Wow.
they have a video
Holy
of that
shit.
saying if he didn't swing, so they took it, it's an awesome video. So you guys should go watch it. It's like 14 minutes, but it's Buddy. He took every at bat. He took everything that he walked. He's like, okay, well, these are intentional walks, so let's count these out. So those are already and he took every strikeout. If he didn't swing, these would have been balls, and these would have been he did a whole thing on it, and he's the second best in history if he didn't have a bat the entire season.
That's insane.
Right? It's unbelievable.
That's an insane number.
He's the most
That
feared hitter
just
of all
shows how
time.
pitchers were trying to pitch around him so much,
Right.
and he basically swung into probably 30% of his own outs, just
Exactly.
trying to hit the ball out.
Yeah.
Maki, what do you got for number 9?
So number 9 isn't necessarily a championship moment. My number 9 was during the 2004 World Series when Kevin Millar walked and they pinch ran with Dave Roberts. Everybody on the planet Earth that was watching that game knew Dave Roberts was going to steal second base.
God
Yep.
bless Jorge Posada's noodle arm.
Everybody knew he was stealing second base. Mariano Rivera, I think, threw over to first base once. Mariano was on the mound. And Dave Roberts cared not. The very next pitch, the moment Mariano started, and he stole that bag. And he got
did.
second base.
It
It was very
Mariano
close.
is easy to steal off of, though, to a point, because he only throws 2 pitches: fastball, cutter, fastball,
Right.
cutter, fastball, cutter.
And which is
Right.
crazy to think he's the best closer ever in history. And
And he
that's
throws
all he
one
had.
pitch
two
with a
pitches. Yeah.
variation of it.
Right.
And that one moment of him stealing second base, that wasn't even in the World Series yet. They hadn't even gotten to the Cardinals yet. That moment turned the entire tide. As a fan, watching the fans in the stadium, that one moment turned the entire tide back into the Red Sox favor. That was such a gigantic moment.
Mm-hmm.
I have that at number 9.
Absolutely. Brian?
So this is cool. We finished with me because my 9 and 8 are kind of the same a little bit. My number 9 is Tigers Masters win in 2019.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
It was the first golf tournament I got to see as a dad, a major, and when he hugged his kid, I don't think I've cried like that before. It was just awesome to see him come back and win that major, and the way he did it, where like, I'm sorry, Molinari shit his pants on that par 3 because Tiger was just standing there watching him like, go ahead, buddy, I've hit this shot in bigger situations than you ever have. Go ahead, hit this one. Like, and he put it in the water, and Tiger's like, okay, I'm gonna knock it in the middle of the green and win. Like that one shot, you talk about the stolen base, that moment, that one moment there won Tiger that Masters.
Yep.
And then, so my number 8 was in 2000, I believe, 8, when Tiger won the U.S. Open on one leg against Rocco Media.
Yeah,
I remember that.
He basically had a broken left leg. He chips in out of the bunker when he can't get out of the bunker physically. And then he goes out and plays 18 holes against Rocco Mediate, who was playing amazing that week, and won another major and then has knee surgery. Like, Jesus. Like, if you swing a golf club, and none of us swing anywhere near as hard, I don't think we could even try if we swung as hard as we could to swing as hard as Tiger did then.
God, no. We dislocate our shoulders.
And the torque that he must have been putting every swing, and just, I have knee pain, but I can't imagine what that had to feel like every golf swing. And then having to walk the whole course.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was amazing to watch. I remember watching the Saturday round in St. John because it was the Can-Am weekend. And I remember watching it in the hotel room, and the highlights, and I'm going, this is unreal.
Yeah.
As I have a big bag of ice on my knee because I hurt from bowling.
Yeah.
So that was my number 8, was Tigers U.S. Open win.
Marky, what do you got at number 8?
Oh, number 8. This is a cool one. We all remember this wasn't the cool part, but we all remember the marathon bombing in Boston back in 13. I was watching the marathon.
Big Poppy?
Yes, it was Big Poppy.
Yeah.
The very next home game after that, there was never a stronger feeling of unity in this city. It didn't matter if you were in Boston proper or if you lived in any of the surrounding suburbs like I did. I didn't live in Boston.
Or if you were up in Rockland, Maine, buddy.
It mattered not where you lived. Every one of us, this was our fucking city. Yeah. When Poppy came out and said that in Fenway Park, I guess he got in trouble for that. But that became like the rallying cry for the team all year. And they ended up going on to win the World Series later that year.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, that was one of the like setup moments. Again, we've talked about these little tiny moments that set a team up for glory and greatness. I don't necessarily know if it was Poppy's words that did it, but it ended up being synonymous with, yes, this is our city, and we did win. Yeah. That was a terrible time around here, but Poppy managed to get everybody by, and it was everywhere, man. It was in the paper with the bleeps. It was on the commercial with the bleeps. People were walking around, never even heard of Big Poppy. People were like, yo, this is our fucking city.
The Chowderhead shirts all over the place.
It was awesome. Yeah. That was a great
Yeah, that's where the Boston Strong came from.
Oh,
yes, it is.
That's where the Boston Strong came from. My number 8 is, and I put the whole thing, but it was the Red Sox winning in 2004. Their first World Series in 86 years. The first time I truly cried like a little baby when a team won a title. And I did. I will always remember where I was. I was laying in bed watching the end of the game. I sat up, got up, it sat on the end of my bed to watch the final out. And instant tears.
You were in bed? Wow, we have vastly different times in our lives for that memory. I'll talk about mine later because it's way up there on the list for me.
It's significantly higher on mine, too.
That was my freshman year of college. Okay, so I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, and I had 3 kids and a full-time job and had to get up in the morning. And this was after midnight. So, yes, I was in bed.
They were late games that year. They were very late games.
We had a couple classes canceled that year because the professors were like, sleep.
and I had that at number 8, and it encompassed everything, including, the Dave Roberts Steele, the bunch of idiots. That's what they were. They just kept. Yep. All they kept saying was, they don't want us to win this next game. They don't want us to win this next game, and they did. And then they're like, they're not going to want us to win this next game, and they did. And then you had everybody available in Game 7, and I think that was over in the first inning, if I'm not mistaken, because they just exploded.
No, they only scored 2 in the first, and then Damon got thrown out trying to score to end the inning. And then the second is when they came up, and Damon hit the grand slam when he came back up.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah.
I was watching it with a Yankee fan.
Calvin, what do you got for number 8?
My number 8, I got a kind of a theme going, but my number 8, Madison Bumgarner's ERA when they won in 2016, the last one they won? Yeah. Or 14? 2014, the last one they won. Like, the man was just a pitching machine throughout the whole playoffs. He threw 4, I shouldn't say complete games, but almost complete game shutouts. Yeah, I think he had 2 complete game shutouts. ERA at the end of the playoffs was .71. Like,
that is disgusting.
Right, to just tear them right to the championship. And further up, I have another of his accomplishments, and that's one of my other bigger moments. But for that one, just the whole playoffs, his ERA is just unbelievable.
Yep,
and
he was pretty damn special. For a couple of years. It wasn't even just that year.
Yes, a couple of years.
And unfortunately, he reminds me a lot of the Tim Lincecum special for a couple of years.
No, see, the problem with him is he got into an accident, and
Lincecum or
Bumgarner. Bumgarner got into an ATV accident and busted up his shoulder and leg.
I think I remember hearing that.
Yeah, he hasn't been the same since. I think it was like 2000. I think it was just after they won. I think it was like the summer after they won, and it was just he messed himself up, and he hasn't been the same since. So, yeah, my number 7, and this is possibly solely just because I'm named after him, but Cal Ripken beating the Ironman record.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That is. I didn't put it on here.
Think of that one.
It's higher on my list.
Oh, it's higher on your list.
Personal to me, yeah. It's a more personal moment for me.
Well, yeah, that's mine too, just because I'm named after him. So
right.
Just the atmosphere and how he just comes out and he's, I don't know, it was just the whole thing, and I loved it, every bit of it.
So
what do we got? You good? 7.
I'll go. I'm right here.
Go get him, buddy.
I'll get number 7. Number 7, and this is one that I suspect Brian and I are going to have. He might have his higher. I've got one of the greatest college basketball games of all time, one of the greatest shots in college basketball of all time. I've got Christian Laettner with 2.2 seconds left, beating Kentucky in the Elite 8 game in 1992. On a tremendous throw from Grant Hill.
You know why that's funny? It's my 7.
Yes!
Pairsies!
Twinsies. I'm not kidding. It is still Laettner shot out in Kentucky.
That's that, and I will never forget it. I had been I didn't watch a whole lot of college basketball growing up because it just wasn't showing up in Maine. You watch March Madness and that really was it. You might watch some BC basketball, maybe.
Yeah.
Or you watched, I got into Duke because it was always on ESPN. That was ESPN Hall.
It was.
It was
they were usually on every week.
Yeah, it was late 80s when I started watching Duke basketball. And it was because they were on ESPN, Johnny Dawkins and Christian Laettner and all these guys. That's my number 7. And Brian, obviously we know what your number
Yeah,
seven is.
it's mine too, and it's I mean, I loved it when I was a kid, but the more I like one of my favorite 30 for 30s is I Hate Christian Leitner.
Yeah.
Because it's just so funny. Like, here's a dude that was a great basketball player that you just wanted to punch in the face because he was a preppy white kid that could shoot over everybody.
Yeah.
And he just looked unathletic as hell. And I mean, he was a really, really great college basketball player, and he was a pretty decent pro ball player. And he had the luxury of having a gold medal because he was on that 92 Dream Team.
Yeah.
Which he was kind of.
He was the token college player.
Well, yeah, here's the funny thing. Isaiah Thomas, not on that team. Christian Leitner on that
Excuse
team.
me. I'll be right back. No
problem.
Well, then we'll get back to Marky's number 7. And he was going to lead off with number 6. I'll go ahead and take number 6. I've got one of my favorite football plays of all time, college and professional. This is when I first truly started watching college football. It is Boston College versus Miami, November 23rd of 1984. It is Doug Flutie's Hail Mary to Gerard Phelan.
Oh, my goodness. It's the play.
It's the play.
It's just the play.
It's the play. And it's the one we all tried to do, playing
and
backyard
Matt Ryan
football.
actually recreated it, didn't he? Didn't he have a Hail Mary with BC?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, quick
I jumped ahead of you, Marky, just because we didn't know how long you were going to be on there.
No, Melissa just texted me. I heard her ringtone, and I had to just respond to that.
Okay.
Fast fact about your number 6 real quick. My uncle, my father's sister, Lisa, my aunt Lisa, married Peter Casparello. And you might say, who the hell is Peter Casparello? Peter Casparello was the tight end on that team.
Yes.
At the end, after Phelan catches the ball.
He's the one that picks up Phelan, isn't he?
Where you see number 85 come running in with his arms up.
Yeah.
That was my Uncle Peter. Gerald Phelan, Doug Flutie used to go over their house for dinner all the time. We used to go over there, and I met Doug Flutie. I've met Phelan. I threw passes with Flutie. Like, I got to hang out with him a lot when I was a kid.
That's cool.
Originally, that play was supposed to go to Peter. It was supposed to be like a tight end, like drag and then release.
Yeah.
But my uncle was covered, and Flutie was just like, the hell with it. I'm heaving it to Phelan. That was his exact words. The hell with it. I'm heaving it to Phelan. I'll never forget.
So when he was on the Pats later on, you must have gone nuts.
It was awesome. It was awesome when we were. I remember calling my Uncle Peter when I heard he got like picked up by the Pats, being like, "Can we get tickets?" And he goes, "No, Mark, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work." Like, he still gets BC season tickets for the rest of his life as long as he wants because he's an alumni.
Yeah,
and he's given me a few, and I get to go to a couple BC games every year, which is cool.
Yeah.
Those guys, solid dudes too. Phelan, Flutie, just great guys.
That's cool. Brian, Marky, what do you got at number 7?
So I'm going to backtrack to number 7 real quick, and I put this one on the list. This is a very personal pick. I was there for this, and I know this is going to piss off one Angela Paquette, so I had to put it on the list. It is Nathan Horton's overtime game winner in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinals against the Montreal Canadiens in the Boston Garden. I was there. It was Melissa's very first hockey game that I ever took her to.
Oh, my God.
She'd never been to a hockey game before. I have loved hockey since I was a little one, right? She never liked it. She never knew the rules. Like, what's offside? What's icing? I don't even want to watch this. This is stupid. I explained to her all the rules. She got into being a fan. A friend of mine had some tickets. I managed to pick them up. They were like $400 each for balcony seats, but I gave not a shit. It was Game 7 against the Canadiens. And Horton scored that overtime game winner, and I've never heard 20,000 people erupt like that in one moment. There was never a bigger feeling of like love and camaraderie, and our team won, and we beat the Canadiens. They suck, and they're going home. They got tea times tomorrow, and we don't.
Yeah,
it was very it may not be the biggest moment in Boston history, but I was there.
It's personal.
It was a very, very solid personal moment.
Yep. What do you got at number 6?
Number 6 is when the Red Sox won in 2013. They won the World Series at Fenway Park.
Yeah.
the 2 other World Series they had won.
I think that's Brian's number 6.
I think so. It is very special to watch a home team win a championship. It makes it that extra icing on the cake when they win it on the home field.
Yeah.
They won in 04 in St. Louis. They won in 07 in Colorado. Brought it back for 13. They were the higher seed, I believe, this time, so they had the home field advantage. When they won that on Fenway soil, oh my goodness, that was it hit me different than the other 2 did. Don't get me wrong, the 04 one was very, very special. But to watch them win it in their home whites, and that was Francona's first year, I believe. I believe that was Francona's first year in 13. So
was it?
I think it was.
Not sure.
No. No.
You sure? Or was 07 his first year?
07 was
07.
It was 07.
His first
Okay.
year.
All right, my fault. But like just to watch them win on Fenway soil to me was an extra special moment. I put that at 6.
Calvin, what do you got at number 6?
Number 6, I have the golden goal. Sidney Crosby's goal in the Olympics against the Americans in the suck it. I knew I put that on there just to fuck with you guys.
Did TJ Oshie make your list?
Hold on. So anyway, we've muted him again.
He fucking muted him again. No, it's Olympic competition. Unmute the bastard.
All right.
He can't. No, Calvin has to unmute.
Oh, Calvin's got to do it. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can only mute him. I can't
perfect.
unmute
Let's
him.
leave it this way then.
Have fun doing the show without me, you pricks.
We didn't mute you. Tim muted you.
Well, you're up there with them.
I'll give you that one. It was in the Olympics.
It was
on the grandest stage in the world.
I just don't like Sidney Crosby.
No, I don't either.
I'm not a Sid the Bitch fan.
Neither am I. But
there's like 9 people in Halifax. Isn't he from Halifax?
Yeah, Cole Harbor.
Cole Harbor. Yeah, I think there's like 9 people in Cole Harbor that like.
Ovechkin's better.
Marchand's from Halifax.
He is.
No, he's.
Thought he was.
I don't think
he was.
I think he's one of those up in the wherever too. But anyways, yeah, the golden goal was my number 6. It was just a great moment with them winning, and that was the last thing in the Olympics in Canada. You know, he scores the goal in overtime, and they win the last gold medal, and it gets them their most gold medals they've ever had in history. Like,
true, I remember that
big moment.
I bought a Canadian national hockey jersey.
Can I talk about
my
6?
was gorgeous.
Brian,
I thought you already did.
No, Brian's 6'5".
Oh, okay. What do you got?
Yeah. Oh,
sorry,
my
I
6 was the
got
2013 Red Sox, but for different reasons. 2013 was a big year for me. I got married. My grandmother passed before that. She was a huge Sox fan. We bought a house. I started a new job, and the Sox won the World Series. And I went to my first ever playoff game that year. Kelly took me to game 1 of the ALDS against Tampa, and that's the one where Myers in right field botched that fly ball that Poppy hit for the double, and we all stood up and started chanting, "It's all your fault" at him in right field. And it was just a cool time. I like to see them win, and it was like, Nana would have loved to seen that, and it just had a special moment for me in 2013 when they won.
Yep.
And 2005 is the 92. Number 5 is the 92 Olympic Dream Team as a whole.
Oh goodness, yes.
Okay.
Because I was 7, basketball was life. I was, and it was all my favorite players, and I just got to watch them run roughshod. I'd never watched the Olympics before. I didn't understand the Olympics. All I knew was that basketball team kicked ass.
Everybody's.
Oh, and like it was
Literally
funny to go back and watch it because like there are other guys like on the bench and they're trying to get Jordan to sign stuff in the game as they're checking in.
Yeah.
Like
guys
Jordan
from the other teams.
Yeah.
That
The
they were
refs
about to play.
Didn't they beat them? Didn't they beat everybody by like an average of 50 points or something like that?
Their average margin of winning was like 42 points. They won the gold medal game. It was their closest game, and I think they had it on coast in the 4th they played Croatia, which is actually funny because Tony Kukoc was
Yeah.
on that Croatia team, and then he went and played for the Bulls the next
played
year.
for the Bulls the next year. Yeah, they picked.
Yeah.
It's on that documentary that Jordan did, and he talks about that. Talks about the fact that we saw this guy in there. He's like, we have to sign this guy, and then he picked him up. Yeah,
like Jordan's actively scouting during the gold medal game.
Absolutely.
Well, when you're winning by 87 points, you can do that shit.
Yeah.
And there's a really cool documentary about the 92 Dream Team, and it's actually about one thing in particular. It's called The Greatest Game That Was Never Televised.
Yes.
And it's in Monte Carlo, and it's their scrimmage. And if you see the raw footage, all you hear the whole time is Michael Jordan talking shit to everyone.
Yeah.
And Larry Bird's just laying there. He's like, Larry, you gonna play? He's like, my back hurts. No.
Yeah.
And that's right. And it was the last time I got to see Larry play basketball. And my dad is biggest Larry. Like, he cried on Larry Bird night. We used to watch it. He had it taped on VHS, the whole retirement night they had. And like, it was the last time I got to watch Larry play basketball.
I was bowling at a bowling tournament at DePatsy's when Larry Bird retired, when they had his retirement ceremony. I remember it being up on their TV.
I think Dad actually skipped that tournament because of Larry Bird night. I'm not joking.
I think that is probably the one reason why I love Michael Jordan, and watching his documentary and just him saying, yeah, I was an asshole. And it was because I wanted to win. He's like, I was going to tell you when you were playing bad, and I was going to tell you when you were being stupid. And it's because I wanted to win. And not a lot of people like me for it, but it's fuck you.
All the guys that
won. But
all the guys back then, though, like Bird did that too. You want like, there's things. It's like somebody like even Reggie Miller's like, nobody talked more trash than Larry.
Yeah.
Like, I love that Larry's like, I'm gonna play left-handed tonight and score 40. Like, what the hell, man?
Yeah.
My number 5 is an iconic David Ortiz moment. Game 2 of the 2013 ALCS. They're down 4 to the Detroit Tigers. Bases are loaded, and David Ortiz comes up huge once again with a grand slam to tie the game.
That was my security guard pose.
You've got the cop in the background going like this.
He became an icon in Boston.
Was it Torrey Hunter? I think it was Torrey Hunter was going over the.
It was.
Yeah.
You had him going over the fence. You had a crowd going nuts, and it spearheaded another clutch moment from David Ortiz.
And you were playing the team that had the first guy since Yastrzemski to win the Triple Crown.
Yes. Yeah. So that was my number 5. I will never forget it. Ortiz to me is one of the best and most clutch hitters I've ever seen.
That was the year, wasn't that the year he only made like 4 true outs in the whole World Series? Yeah. Like, besides fielder's choices and shit.
He batted .670 something in the World Series.
Which is like 2 or 3 home runs.
Yeah, which is stupid. I mean, it's just.
Yeah. It is. It really is.
You know, I truly hope he makes the Hall of Fame. I think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
He will, now that Harold Baines is in there. Edgar Martinez is in, right? Yeah. So, yeah, he'll get in now for sure.
He should.
Getting Edgar Martinez in opened the door for DHs.
Calvin, you went with number 5 already, right?
Nope.
Marky, did you go number 5 yet?
Nope, not yet.
Okay.
I think you're the only one.
Yeah, we'll go Calvin and Brian start.
Oh.
Okay, Calvin, you're number 5.
Okay, my number 5, and it's still kind of ongoing, but I picked the big 3 in tennis. I know not many of us are tennis fans, but
I watch.
I like tennis.
I love tennis, and the fact that 3 guys, Rafael Nadal, Roger Federer, and Novak Djokovic, in 16 years, because I just kind of looked it up because I wanted to give the stat because I think it's really fun. In 16 years, so since 2004, since Roger Federer just became the absolute dominant of the whole sport, only 11 times out of the 64 majors has one of them not won a major.
That is just,
oh my god!
Like that's a
crazy stat.
That's a disgusting stat.
It's only 11 times has a different name been on the trophy, and 3 of those are Andy Murray when he was part of the Big Four.
That's true.
when
Yeah.
it was the four of them in the Final Four every major. It didn't matter what it was. It was the four of them. So, and it's still ongoing now because Novak Djokovic is probably going to win the Wimbledon now that Roger Federer got knocked out today.
Did he get knocked out today?
Yeah, he got knocked out today by like the 16th seed or something like. And it was straight sets. Like it was bad.
Ooh.
I think he's still not fully healthy. And I honestly think he's done. I don't think he'll win again. And which is disappointing because I love Roger Federer. But just those three guys just completely dominating a sport for the last 16 years is unbelievable.
It really is. That really is.
Yeah. So that's my number 5.
Marky, what do you got at number 5?
All right. Well, I got something that's going to piss you off a lot. To be honest with you, Timmy.
Oh,
No, Timmy.
Oh, good. It's going to make me happy, though.
Yes, it is. At number 5, at WrestleMania 18.
Don't you do it.
Yeah, holy
fucker.
Fuck.
So at WrestleMania 18, I can guarantee you it was The Rock and Hulk Hogan and the stare down and
Oh God, I had to. I'm just kidding with you guys.
Oh, you
Brian,
dumb son of a bitch! You dumb son of a bitch!
Okay, Marky, go ahead with number 5.
All right, no, okay, so
he's getting mad at us for being marks.
I won't mute you again.
We are fans, and it's still real to us. Damn it!
I know it is.
All right. We know what sports entertainment is. We understand it, and we know it, but we still love it.
But there are moments in a culture that are defining.
And this was one. Yours earlier, when you mentioned Hogan Andre,
was the first past like similar moment.
Very, very similar. Icon of one generation to icon of the next. This one was Hulk Hogan returning the favor against The Rock at WrestleMania 18. The stare down, the crowd. So I want to say one thing about the Canadian crowds. The Canadian crowds,
don't give
especially,
a fuck.
They have no fucks to give about what people say the storyline is. They cheer for who they want to. Yeah. They turned that match. The two guys in the ring were one thing. The crowd turned that into one of the most important matches in the history of sports entertainment. Man, and it felt like it. And Hogan pulled everything out of his bag of tricks to get it done. Everybody after them were totally screwed. There was no way to follow that. Yeah. That was one of the most important torch-bearing or torch-passing moments in the history of sports entertainment.
It made Dwayne the guy.
Yeah.
It did.
And the fact that the match went like 16 minutes and 7 of those minutes was them just standing there looking at each other and listening to the crowd.
And that got the loudest cheer of everything.
Insane.
Yeah.
The idea of what it was bigger than the actual competition of what happened.
Yeah.
And very, very, very few times through history has any sport had the idea of what was about to happen be more important than the thing that actually happened.
Yeah.
So I have that very high on my list. Some people might add it lower, but to me, it's a very important moment. I have that at number 5.
Understood. What do you got at number 4?
Number 4, this one is extraordinarily personal to me and to me only. It is not a professional sports team. It was in 2013 when I did win the World Singles. That to me was a defining moment, a pinnacle of the career, everything I've been working for 25 years up to that point. And I'm still extraordinarily proud of it. I wish we all got our own replica trophies to take home, but it's my most proud achievement I've ever achieved in the game of candlepins, ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I'll stop there.
Yep. Calvin, what do you got number 4?
My number 4 is the Kawhi buzzer beater.
Is that a basketball thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's
I'll listen.
No, it's a pretty iconic. That's an iconic.
On my anniversary.
So Toronto, the Raptors won the NBA championship 2 years ago now, don't you?
Yes. Yeah. I know. I find out who wins, but I'm not a basketball fan. I just
don't.
You should watch the shot.
Yeah, you should watch the shot, man. It is
the conference finals.
Yeah, the conference finals. No, was it?
No, semifinals because it was against the Sixers.
Yeah,
it was against the Sixers because I love watching Joel Embiid cry.
Right, they went up to Milwaukee in the conference final.
Yeah.
So So, Marky, just to give you some context before you start watching it. So it's a tie game, and I believe Philadelphia had gone on like an 8-2 run or something like that to tie the game. And there's 9 seconds left, and Toronto has the ball. They pass it out to Kawhi. He dribbles out to the corner, and basically like this miraculous shot, and it bounces 3 times before it goes in. And just the crowd and the teams.
Everything is slow-mo.
Oh,
like at the end of a movie, like dink.
Oh, yeah.
Dink.
It's incredible. Like and I understand there's many shots and there's many like plays, but I don't know that you'll ever find a better game-ending shot in basketball history. Like,
all right, I got it right here.
Okay, you watch it while somebody else goes to their next one.
Yeah.
I'll do my number 4. It's already been said, but Cal Ripken Jr. breaking the streak.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's how they won in the holy shit.
That's how they won in the semis going into the conference final.
A fall away from like 30 feet away that bounced for. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, it's unreal, man. And they have like still pictures everywhere of like people's faces.
Oh, it's amazing. It truly is iconic.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah. Brian, what do you got number 4?
4 times before it went.
No, it's Cal Ripken Jr. breaking the streak.
Sorry.
Oh, no problem. At number 4, I had just gotten into like rotisserie baseball and fantasy baseball. My uncle and my dad were into it, and I started getting into the numbers of baseball, and I really got a deeper appreciation for baseball because I was really trying to get back into it after the strike, and I just real sour because I loved baseball and I was mad at the players, and then like I got to appreciate it, and my uncle and my dad, I remember it was at night. It was like 9 o'clock at night. I was supposed to be in bed, and they're like, "You got to come watch this. This is baseball history. You got to watch." And just the whole running around and the numbers falling on the, and it happened like
on the boards. Yeah,
it couldn't have happened at a cooler stadium at the time. Like Camden Yards is so like just set up for something like that. And it was a cool moment that I'll always remember in my childhood. And I actually remember the books you used to get at Scholastic Book Fairs, or I don't know what they are up there, but you could like, it had the addresses, you could write letters to athletes. I wrote one to Ripken, and I got one of those generic ones back, but at the bottom it was handwritten and signed by him. And I had asked him a couple questions, and one was about the streak, and I asked him like, what made it so great, and he like, oh, my dad was really proud of me. It meant a lot to me, and I have that framed down here in the man cave. It's
that's awesome.
Personal thing. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Awesome.
So my number 4 is Tom Brady being Tom Brady.
Oh, good God.
In the most amazing comeback in the history of comebacks, in the history of evers.
You know what? I have that. I put that on one of mine, and then I scratched it out. I said, there's no friggin' way I'm going to talk about Tom Brady.
Patriots win Super Bowl 51, coming back 28-3 by scoring, what was it, 25 unanswered before they scored? I mean, just truly.
Not that they would ever call it, but there's a huge fucking hold on that last play in overtime.
I'm sure there is. Brian, you played football. There's a hold
on every single play. Oh,
on every play.
The best blocks are on called holds.
As a diehard New England fan, Patriots, Bruins, Celtics, Red Sox, this to me solidified the greatness that truly is Tom Brady and his ability to just win. Say what you want about the guy, whatever, I don't care. Brian, you say what you want. Calvin,
he's a shitty golfer.
Maybe, but he's that's my number 4.
My favorite part of that whole
something,
moment.
Right? I mean, he's got to be a bad golfer. He's married to Giselle. He's got Super Bowl rings. He's good looking. Like, dude's got to be bad at something.
And got to be. Well, he doesn't make as much money as his wife.
No.
Who does?
Not me.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
So, wait. Who makes more than his wife or my wife?
No. Yeah. No, who makes more than their wife?
Oh, I do.
I
Not me.
Not me.
Not
no
me.
way.
No.
Colin doesn't pay for shit.
Aki, you got number 4 yet? You did number 4, right?
I did not. I started with number 4.
You
Yes.
started, okay. So number 3, we are now in the top 3, which is great
really
because
weird.
we're already at 55 minutes.
Yeah, we're.
All right,
All right. Well,
So-
let's
try.
this here.
Number 3 is I just have Tiger Woods as number 3, and there's 3 iconic moments of Tiger Woods, and number 1 is him winning the Tour Championship in 2018, coming back from the knee surgeries and the back surgeries and the stuff like that, and the crowd following him at East Lake, just the iconic moment there, and then him winning the two real big Masters that I will always remember, and that's his first one in '97, and then his last one in 2019. So I got Tiger Woods.
Product of Tiger Woods in golf. Like I started playing golf because of Tiger.
I think you're still forgetting the putt. I don't know,
Look, you've got the chip in at 16.
Better than most.
Masters.
Yeah,
You've got the chip in at the Memorial. You've got the putt at TPC Sawgrass. You got
there's a list.
The 3-wood at Bay Hill.
He is the greatest. And look, I'm a Jack Nicklaus fan. That's who I grew up watching.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I had Jack on my list until I kept going, and then he got off the top 10. But when he won in Augusta in '86, I was a Jack fan. I still am. But Tiger transcended golf.
Fact.
Tiger is the greatest golfer of all time. Period. End of story.
Oh, for sure.
I know Jack has more majors. I get it.
That's the only thing that people hang on, though, is they always say, yeah, but he doesn't have as many majors. Yeah, but to be honest, in this generation, in this day and age, nobody did more to expose the game of golf than Tiger did.
Yep.
Nobody did.
Yep.
Not even close. It's not even a contest.
That's my number 3. Marky, what do you got at number 3?
So at number 3, I have another very special Boston Bruins moment. This time it was in 2013. The comeback win against Toronto, where they scored 3 unanswered goals. I'm just pissing off Canadians all over the place here. Angela's already stopped watching. Calvin just threw his headphones on the floor. He can't hear shit now. That's fine. That was the most intense 10 minutes of hockey I have ever seen in my life, let alone it being a playoff. It was the most intense hockey. We think the game is over. There's 10 minutes left. Yeah, you keep fingering me, bro. It's just a lot of poop there. You know what I mean? Like they were down 3 goals. We scored 3 goals to get it into overtime. Bergie puts it away in overtime. We know what happened next. I think we got to the Flyers next, and that didn't go so good. But at the same point in time, there was not a bigger playoff, and that happened 2 years after we won the cup here.
Oh God, yeah.
So we had gotten used to the Bruins winning and being good, and here was this moment that was like, oh my, there's no way that anything is ever going to, like, they're not going to lose this game. They scored 1, then they scored 2, then they scored 3. It is just the comeback. Fuck off, kingliness guy.
We were friends, but now we're not anymore.
Brian, what do you got at number 3?
Number 3 is also a Bruins moment, but it's the 2011 Bruins when they won the Stanley Cup. So cool story about Game 7. So it was when I just met Kelly. It was the first couple months we were together, and she goes, "Hey, my parents are coming Wednesday to spend the night at the apartment," and I go, "No, they're not." She's like, "What do you mean?" I go, "Wednesday night's Game 7. We only have one TV." She's like, "Well, they'll let you watch the game." I go, "Okay, but I'm not talking to them. Like, they don't understand. Like, I am going to be a wall." So I was sitting there, and they're just like, "Brian, how's the game going?" I'm like, "Good." And they're like, "Oh, is it interesting?" I'm like, "Yes." And they're like, "Oh, can you explain that?" No. And like, Kelly's has to be like, he's not rude. It's just, this is important. And then they won. And then like, she had to explain why I was crying and why I was calling my dad and he was crying.
Yes.
Yes. Because it was the first time it was the first time Dad had seen him win since he was a little kid. Like the last time they had won before that. And to
I think it was
see
76,
Sorry.
75.
Yeah, that was so
Habs
my dad
lost.
was
Habs lost. Habs
Game's
lost.
over.
Yeah.
Habs
Game's over.
lost.
Game's over.
Yeah, no cup in
Yay.
Montreal.
Sorry, Bri.
No
Sorry,
problem.
buddy.
Cup for you.
But yeah, the Bruins in 2011.
Cool. Mark, you already went number 3?
I did go number 3. Yes.
Oh, so I have
It was
2?
The comeback.
Nope.
No, I haven't gone 3 yet.
Calvin's got number 3 and number
I'll
2.
go 3 too. So we'll go back to baseball. Actually, for my last 3, they're baseball. Only because I love watching baseball, and they're
No
probably the
Peyton
greatest
Manning
ball.
on your list?
No,
Wow.
well, Peyton Manning, like,
His forehead's too big. It doesn't fit on the list.
to be
Yeah, but
honest,
I figured the Denver Super Bowl you would have on there.
but he didn't really do anything. The defense carried him to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Von Miller won that one.
Like Von Miller, that's why he was MVP. Like he carried that. Like, so there was no real Peyton Manning things on here.
What about the Patriots missed extra point that won you guys that AFC game?
No.
That was a pretty cool moment.
Anyway,
Oh,
number
okay.
3.
That was a pretty good moment.
We're at an hour, so we need to.
Okay.
My number 3 is Roy Halladay. His first start in the playoffs, and he pitches a no-hitter for the Phillies. Only because, he was a Blue Jays pitcher basically his whole career, and then he goes to the team and makes the playoffs and pitches a no-hitter. So that's about all I can say about that. And the number 2, the bat flip.
Oh, Joey
Batista.
Bats.
Joey Bats.
Flip. Joey Bats. There's never, that will be talked about for generations upon generations, and that is that. And yes, you can say that or not, but that single moment has transformed the youth movement of do whatever the fuck you want when you hit a home run, because Joey
You're not
Bats
wrong.
throwing that bat has just turned everything around.
The moment made it though.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, man. The whole 7th inning took 45 minutes. Like there's a video on it. The whole 7th inning from top to bottom, 45 minutes.
It was an amazing inning. It truly was. And I don't have a problem with that bat flip because of the moment. I have a problem with bat flips when you're down 14-2 and you hit a solo home run. And you stare it down, and then you flip the bat, and it's like, dude, you're down 14-2. Like, no. At that moment, I absolutely that's a great iconic moment. Absolutely. My number 2 is Do You Believe in Miracles?
Oh, yep.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it. I can remember being in my living room, watching it live. I didn't quite grasp the significance because I was 9 years old.
Right.
I just knew that it was big. But them beating Russia, USSR, in the 1980 Olympic hockey, and then turn around and beating Finland in the gold medal game.
Mm-hmm.
That's my number 2. Marky, wait, Brian, did you do number 2 yet?
No, my number 2 is super personal to me. It's my first Worlds in 2005. As Marky said, it's a culmination of everything you try and get to. It was in Halifax, so it was the first time I bowled in Canada. It was the first time I had really seen that level, and it was amazing. And my first string, I threw 151. So that was really cool. And then I beat Charlie in one string the next day in the match we had with him. And I could have stopped then. But,
I remember that.
Yeah. It was, and to throw the 151 with the Bangor guys beside me, Charlie, James, Tim, on that, it was awesome. My team was pretty cool too, but it was more fun to watch them guys give them shit because I didn't get to bowl all day the first day, and I come in and throw 151.
The greatest secret nobody knew about.
Yeah, and nobody should have ever found out about because I haven't replicated it since. No.
Marky, what do you got at number 2?
2-1.
At number 2, I have the entire Boston Bruins from the 2011 season, from the Stanley Cup season.
Yeah.
They just walked into Vancouver, made Luongo look like a joke, and it was so fun with them. We got the Sedin sisters out of it, and it was just, as a Boston sports fan, to finally get to watch them win the cup after
There was
loving them
no
for
better
30
memes than the
years.
Sundin sisters.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. It was a culmination of my favorite team finally winning the first cup that I've ever seen them win.
Yeah.
I will never forget
With a
that moment.
Wasn't Mark Rickey on that team? The
Mark
other one?
Recchi. Mark
Recchi,
Recchi.
yeah.
I've been called Mark Recchi so many times, and I'm just like, yo, if I only had his money, I wouldn't be here. If I
Yeah,
only
you had a
Mark,
jersey that you could have bought that was
No, he spelled his name different.
does it?
There was a Mark Recchi, Recchi.
Yep.
And then there was a Mike Ricci, or however they said it.
Yeah.
Ricci. Legitimately how I spell my name.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go buy one of his jerseys, but they wouldn't make it in a Bruins jersey. And then a friend of mine last year for my birthday bought me my own jersey with my own last name on it, and it's one of my most prized possessions. I absolutely love it. So
Brian, what do you? I'm sorry.
He already did too. So I
No.
get to steal. I get to steal
You
number
had-
one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry, Mark. Go ahead. What do you got for number one?
So the Bruins in 11 was number 2. The only sports memory that I could say means more to me than anything that has ever happened that I've ever seen was the Red Sox winning the World Series in 2004. And I say that not just because it was the end of the curse, not just because it was, my God, this was the team that was going to do it, the idiots. After the game, me and the 10 people I was chilling with, that we were at my friend's house watching, we all went into Boston after that. We drove around. I was hanging out in my buddy's sunroof with a broom because they swept the Cardinals in 4 games. And there was the atmosphere in Boston. I've never seen so many people in one place. Everybody loved there was fireworks going off. It was the best. I've never been a part of one of those like Super Bowl parades or World Series parades. I don't have to be, because at this point, everybody who lived within 30 miles of Boston was in the streets going crazy. There was boobies everywhere. There were people throwing beers at you as you were driving by. It was so much fun.
I cried, I laughed, and I went streaking down my road on Claremont Street. I did have my boxes on.
That's not streaking then.
That's my number one too, though. And
is it?
It is. The 04 Sox is I was a freshman in college. It was like it was just after your first month, so you're stressed out because exams are coming up. It was the perfect time. We were burning. Like, we had bonfires spontaneously with couches. Couches go up, I guess, when you get excited. But nobody cared. Security was like, all right, just control it, whatever. Like, drinking and just having fun with people that you hang out with a lot now because you're away from home for the first time. And thank God for cell phones back then, because I got to call my grandmother and cry, call dad, cried. Like, my family is a big sports family, and the Sox are big in my household. Yes. And to experience that with family that have waited so long, like, my grandmother waited her entire life, and she was like 71 when they won. Like, yeah. Jesus.
Yeah. Calvin, what's your number one?
My number one is going back to one of my earlier ones, and that would be Madison Bumgarner in Game 7 of the World Series after he pitched a 7-inning shutout 2 days earlier, and they asked him to come in, and they were talking, how many innings? Maybe 1, maybe 2. He'll come in like the 7th or 8th. No, he came in the 4th inning and pitched 5 scoreless innings to win them the World Series.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't think you can find a better pitching performance ever. So him coming
Schilling's bloody sock.
No, sorry, ain't happening. He can have a bloody foot all he wants, but a guy who pitched, he didn't pitch 2 days earlier, or he didn't pitch.
Nobody couldn't walk.
Pedro Martinez did that.
Yeah,
against Cleveland in the ALCS, he had pitched 2 days before, and they needed him to come in, and he pitched like 4, like I don't know if it was like 3 or 4 or 5 innings, something like that.
Yeah, I think he came in the 6th or 7th or something.
Something like that.
Yeah,
and shut the Indians down.
But Bumgarner, still, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, to do that in Game 7 of the World Series is
right.
And Bumgarner throws a hell of a lot harder than Schilling did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I left some things off. I will tell you right now, like Roger Clemens, 20 strikeouts against the Seattle Mariners.
I have an odd one. that is important to me for a weird, the Music City Miracle.
Yep.
Like that was the first oh my shit God what just happened moment I'd ever saw on national. Like Tim probably remembers the band's on the field.
They were already on the field. Like the guy running the ball had to run around.
But the Music City Miracle was that for me. Like, oh, okay, well, Buffalo won. Wait. No, they didn't.
Carlton Fisk home run in the 75 Game 6 World Series against the Reds.
That was one of my honorable mentions as
so
well.
I can remember my mother waking up us kids. And that's the first real recollection I have. I was 4 years old. Christ, it was 46 years ago. And amazing. I left off Malcolm Butler's interception in Super Bowl 49. My number one sports moment is winning the Worlds in 2001. Period. It is. It's the coolest thing that's ever happened to me in the game of bowling. We
can't talk about it because it's Friday.
I can because it's a sport.
How do you mute him?
Because it's a sports moment.
Ah, he did it. It's not that hard. You can do it.
Fuck you, Tim.
It's a sports moment. That's why I can talk about it.
I know. I'll give it a shit.
But no, it's that to me is the number one moment. When I threw a backdoor strike, but I did go 390 in the playoff match. So whatever.
I think I might. Oh yeah. No, I just had one. I think I might change my number one. Tampa Bay beating Montreal in 5 games in the 2021.
That is all of our honorable number 1A.
Yeah.
Yes.
At least the share. Actually, mine would be the New York Giants winning the Super Bowl in 2000 the undefeated.
So anyway,
what against the Pats? Do you know how much money I lost in that freaking game because of that safety in the beginning? You know how much fucking square money I lost in that game?
Honestly though, the Mario Manningham's catch was amazing.
One of the greatest catches in Super Bowl history.
It was amazing. I still think the greatest catch in Super Bowl history is Julian Edelman's catch. In that comeback win against Atlanta, because just the moment itself.
Of course, you'd be wrong, but I'll take your opinion.
What else is going to be better catch than that?
The helmet catch, man. There's no better catch than that in history.
That's really hard to argue.
Brian, you're not a Patriots fan. You're not a Giants fan. I know you hate the Giants, and I know you hate the Patriots. So besides,
I have different reasons for discounting the catch. It's semantics, but as an offensive and defensive lineman, Eli Manning should have been blown dead. And I hate saying that because I'm not a Patriots fan, but Eli Manning was in the grasp. He should have been blown dead. That catch should have never happened. It's a great catch, but it never should have happened.
But would you say the greatest catch in Super Bowl?
No, Edelman's catch is better. It just is. I'm sorry. There's a difference when you are putting your hand against your helmet with a sticky glove and like seizing it there and like getting tackled. Yes. And there's a difference catching it this far from the ground. Like Gettleman's catch is better.
Yeah.
My opinion.
Well, folks, we're done.
Good list, boys. Good list.
Yeah.
We're done. For the 2 listeners who stayed for the whole thing, thank you. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Yes. Do not forget, episode 69 is coming up.
Oh, it's
9 more weeks. Get your submissions in.
The whack woast of Tim Matero.
The whack woast of Tim Matero.
I don't know why the hell I couldn't say it the other night.
I don't know, but
it could not say it.
It cracked me up. Don't forget to tune in Sundays, 9:00 Eastern Standard Time to watch Marky and Brian, the Coastal Crusader and Marky Pins, and the other Dudes and Belts chatcast at twitch.tv/Johnny Deathdrop. Give them a listen. It's a big one this week, if I'm not mistaken. This is the Lilith Grimm interview, if I'm not
Yes, it
mistaken.
is.
Yes, it is.
So this is a big episode on Sunday night for these guys, and then don't forget next Tuesday morning you have the Ripping the Rack podcast, episode 61, talking candlepin bowling.
I guarantee you'll forget that number by Tuesday.
Probably, but I pulled that out of my ass, so
Yeah,
You did,
I don't
no.
know.
As we inch ever closer to episode number 69.
Yes.
What are we going to do is episode 69 just going to be an overall blanket episode, or are we going to do a bowling episode?
No, it'll be it's going to be an overall blanket episode.
It's going to be a roast.
It's going to be on. We're going to film it, tape it on Monday evening.
Yep.
Give you time to edit, do the things that you want to do.
Excellent.
And then we will let that go live.
Marky, can we do a Skype call and you can share your screen while you do that, so you and I and Calvin can watch and do some interview and do some input too?
You guys
absolutely.
You guys do,
because there's a share screen button right down here on Skype, so you hit share screen and we can see what you're doing with the editing.
Yeah.
You guys do that.
Very good.
This is you guys. This is you guys. I will have my chance.
Just remember, we love you.
Oh no,
Yes.
no, guys!
Okay. Good. We're
I
gonna
understand.
rip you a new one.
I'm okay with it. I truly am okay with it.
Excellent.
Because I'm gonna rip all three of you new ones at the end.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. No, a receipt will definitely be necessary.
So that is coming up as always, folks. Please get your questions, your comments, your concerns to rippingtherackpodcast@gmail.com. You can also reach us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. We don't use Instagram much, so please, I'd probably at this point just.
No, I suck at it. I'm going to try to get better at it, but I suck.
Dude, I suck at it.
Tim talked about making it for 3 months before you actually made it. So.
No, I made it.
He made it.
No, I made it. I just hadn't put anything on it.
I was going to post that selfie me and you took together, but I look like somebody just goosed me, and you look like you're peeing in the picture.
Well, that's because you guys had, wished for good competition, right?
Oh, a pleasant competition. Yes, we were wishing each other pleasant competitions.
So find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Ripping the Rack Podcast. Calvin, where else can they hear us?
Heck if I know.
Okay. Brian, where else can they hear us, buddy?
Well, they can hear us on Spotify, Anchor Breaker, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Google Podcasts, YouTube, and wherever else you listen to your podcast mediums.
Excellent. Guys, have a great weekend, and we will see you soon.
Pew.